Modern industrial workspaces move fast. Thousands of pounds of steel and machinery are constantly in motion, and a single misstep in a fraction of a second can turn a routine shift into a disaster. This chart shows fatal work injuries by private industry sector in 2021, proving workplace fatalities are a systemic issue across major industries. Looking closely, the supply chain sector carries exceptionally high risk. Transportation and warehousing recorded nearly 1,000 fatalities in a single year. Let's picture a specific, highly common scenario: a catastrophic collision involving a forklift slamming into a fully loaded storage rack on a busy warehouse floor, bringing tons of material crashing down. When the dust settles, the immediate reaction is almost always the same. People assume it was simply unpredictable bad luck or a sudden, inexplicable mistake by the operator. To find out why the crash actually happened, we have to treat the site like a crime scene. If we rewind the timeline, we can uncover the layers of failure that made this collision inevitable. Rolling back to just minutes before the crash, we look at the physical state of the forklift operator. We frequently label mistakes as human error, but that label hides the truth. Factors like physical fatigue from working late shifts or high levels of stress severely impair a worker's judgment and slow their reaction times. The error is usually just a symptom of these underlying conditions. If we rewind even further back to the worker's initial onboarding, we find a massive gap. The operator lacked the specific skills and knowledge required for safe operation and was put behind the wheel without adequate training or supervision to handle the controls. Now, let's look past the driver and examine the physical workspace itself, stepping back several weeks before the incident. Work environments that are poorly designed or maintained create invisible traps. Things like ongoing mechanical failures on the equipment or inadequate lighting that impairs overall visibility make routine tasks highly hazardous. Exhaustion, lack of training, and environmental hazards merge to create a volatile workspace. At this point, a collision is no longer a possibility. It's a statistical certainty. We have to rewind several months before the crash to locate the highest level of influence: the organization's management and its overall safety culture. When leadership prioritizes speed over safety, managers might ignore clear violations just to meet tight deadlines. The physical consequences accumulate quickly. Pallets get rushed and materials haphazardly stored, setting up a situation where falling inventory is guaranteed to cause injuries. The final flaw in this organizational culture is silence. When the workplace atmosphere actively discourages employees from reporting these hidden hazards, the dangers remain omitted from any official record. Structural failures at the management level ensured the worker was compromised long before they ever stepped onto the warehouse floor. Fast-forwarding violently back to the exact moment of the forklift crash, the collapsed steel and damaged goods are incredibly expensive, but that physical damage is merely the beginning of the disaster. Organizations immediately look at their insured costs. Standard workers' compensation coverage typically only handles the obvious items, providing financial support for medical expenses and a portion of the injured employee's lost wages during recovery. But those visible insured payouts pale in comparison to the massive hidden financial bleed of uninsured costs. The immediate operational hits happen on day one. You have lost time for all the other employees who have to stop working to assist during the accident, plus the cost to replace the destroyed materials and equipment. Then the long-term costs set in. A company has to pay massive overtime to cover the absence, fund training for replacement workers, and deal with severe legal liability and reputational damage. The human toll is tracked using a metric called a lost time injury, or LTI. An LTI includes any absence from work due to fatalities or disabilities, and it reflects the total operational time a company bleeds because of these preventable absences. Prioritizing safety protocols ensures the operational stability of the entire organization. Bypassing these measures simply defers a catastrophic hidden bill that will eventually come due.